And then for today's class, have at least one blanket and 2 blocks. And we'll actually just start laying down with a little bit of breath work. So come into a position at first, just that's comfortable for you. Oh, yeah. And if you need to wiggle, I always need to wiggle, so feel free to wiggle. And then once you begin to settle down, just take a moment here. We'll take a little inventory. How does your body feel? How does your brain feel? You'll notice just the overall quality of your breath. Notice where you feel movement. And take a gentle turn of your head from side to side. And then relax your head in the center. And if your legs are long on the floor, go ahead and bend your knees. And take your hands low on the belly, below your navel. And take a breath in. And then as you exhale, let's go slowly with the exhale and start to create some tone in the abdomen underneath your hands. Pause for a moment on empty breath. And then on the inhale, just let it go. So take a couple more of these. We'll focus on the exhales for now. Nice slow, long exhale, creating that tone in your abdomen. Think of all sides of your waist hugging in. And you might notice there are some subtle changes going on in the spine, maybe in the rest of the body as well. And let's keep the tone in your abdomen. You can lower your hands down alongside you. Breathe when you need to breathe, and it might be a more shallow breath than usual. And just start to take a slow motion march. Take one leg up and down, other leg up and down. And see if you can almost initiate this movement from the tone in your abdomen. It's not literally happening, but as if it could. Yeah. And then keep it going and bring your arms just right out in front of you. And for some folks, this makes it a little more challenging. Some it makes it easier. And then start to go a little bit back towards your head, but not all the way to the floor. And you might notice a little less stability going around in the lower spine and in the pelvis, and see if you can keep that stability as you continue to march it. Good. And then let's bring the arms again right in front of you. And let the marching settle. And relax your arms. Just take a regular breath in and out. Great. So let's change the pattern a little bit. Lift both legs up in the tabletop position. And let's start with the arms just down on the floor and give a little pressure down with your hands. Let's breathe in. And then on your next exhale, with the tone in your abdomen, take your right leg a little forward, a little closer to the floor, keeping the knee bent. And then inhale to center. Do the other side. We'll just alternate here, moving on the exhale, moving down on the exhale. And as you're going along, try not to let the spine do like a cat-cow sort of movement. Keep all of it really stable the whole time. Some of you might have a bit of a lumbar curve, and some of you might feel more flat here, and either way is fine. Yeah. So adding on, next time the leg comes down, go lower with a bent leg and then straighten the leg at the bottom and then come up and rebend. I'll say that again. So lower a little bit bent and then straighten out the leg and bend it on the way up. So do that a couple of times. It's like a little scooping motion. And here too, only go as low as you can go while maintaining the position of the spine. Great. And we'll take a little break here, just bring the knees in. Give yourself a side to side, maybe a little circle. We'll take a couple more here. So let's get back into the tabletop position and have your hands on your thighs, close to your knees. Breathe in. And this time on the exhale, press hands and legs into each other as you create the same tone in your abdomen. You might find it a little deeper here when you can press. And on the inhale, back off slightly. Now let's go again. Exhale, press legs and hands into each other. Hug the waist in toward the center, your inner corset, and then back off. Let's do it one more time. Now here, keep the tone. Breathe when you need to. Put the right hand on top of the left hand. And let's lengthen the right leg up. And then just do a couple times down and up on the right straight leg. If that's too much, put the knee bent again. And same as before. Try not to let the pelvis tilt back and forth and try not to move the spine like a cat-cow sort of movement. That's it. Next time you're in the up position, pause, reset your hands, put the right hand on the inside of the left knee, and then pick up your head and hold with the left hand. And then press, 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 hand and leg into each other. Lower the right leg any amount, and we're just going to hold this position so we won't go up and down here. Pressing in towards the midline. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Bend your knees, come in, take a little rock. And then we'll go into side two. So start with both hands on the thighs, press. And then put the left hand on top of the right hand and lift the left leg up. Let's take a couple of times down and up on the left side. And the range of motion might be different on the two sides. I should have had to stretch our hamstrings first. We'll do that in a second. Yeah. All right. Next time you're in the up position, change your hands, put the left hand to the inside of the right knee, hold your head with the right hand, press, 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 hand and leg, and then lower the left leg any amount, and we'll just hold the position for a couple of moments. Good. And then come in, let it go, wiggle around. Yeah. All right, put the left leg down, either bent or straight, doesn't matter, and hold behind your right thigh. And this time, just use it as a hamstring stretching opportunity. Bend and straighten the right leg. You could go any pace you like. Yeah. And then we'll pause with the leg up and move your foot and ankle and toes in any way that you'd like to go. Yeah. Pause here, and now do have the left leg all the way straight on the floor. Bend your right knee and twist, carry the leg over. You could take your right arm out wide. And if it would feel good to do a little snow angel with the right arm, you're welcome to. Good. Okay, come back to center and then change. Let's bring the left leg in and then hold behind the thigh. Take a couple times to bend and straighten. I don't know why everything's so tight for me today. It's not that cold out. I didn't run this. Maybe that's why I didn't run this morning. All right, let's pause with the leg up and move your foot any amount. Yeah. And then make sure your right leg is all the way long on the floor. Bend the left knee and come into your twist. Once you're there, yeah, if it would feel good to Do some snow angels, you can. Okay. And then we'll come back to center with both knees in. Let's just draw a little circle here, our last little thing laying on your back. Go the other way. Yeah, and then let's turn over, we'll meet in all fours. Well, let's just wiggle around here too once you get into the position. Oh yeah, start to move in a way that feels good. And as you start to settle that down, come back to the center here. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, first create that same tone in the abdomen that we were doing laying down, and then let that continue on into your cat pose. Then as you inhale, back off, just come back to center and do a couple more of those. So on the exhale, first start with that tone in the abdomen and keep that as you round. Yeah. So those are the exhales. Now on the inhales, slide the shoulder blades down your back and draw the chest forward. And then on the exhales, find again that tone in the abdomen. Great. Let's take it one more time. And then from here, shift back to child's pose. Widen your knees a little bit when you get there. And turn your palms to face up. Just move your fingers around a little bit. And then put your hands back down. Don't move your hands, but pull back. As you inhale, lift the hips a little, lift the elbows a little. Think cobra in the upper back. And then exhale, lower back down. And do just that a couple times more. The next one, let's come all the way back up to all fours. And then reset your knees so that they're just the regular distance apart. Broaden your collarbones, lift the abdomen. Take your right leg back with the toes tucked under. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, hover the left knee. Keep the top of the foot on the floor. Yeah. Inhale, come down. And do that 2 more times. Try to keep your spine mostly neutral in this version of the pose instead of rounding. Yeah. And then after this next one here, we'll change it a little bit. Lower the knee down. Now lift your straight leg. Lift from the inner thigh. Take your left arm straight ahead with the thumb facing up. You could stay here, or you could bend the back knee, reach around and hold foot to hand. If that's not gonna work, don't worry about it. And then we'll come back to the straight limbed position, arm forward, leg back. Last little thing, maybe hover the top of the left foot just for a second. Oh yeah, put the hand down, put the knee down. Let's go back to child's pose, wide knee version, and go on to spider fingers with your hands. Give them out a little grip. Yeah, and then lower your elbows down. And let's do again 3 of these. Inhale, pull back through the mat as you move your chest forward and up. Exhale, lower. Go 2 more times with that one. Yeah. And then we'll take it all the way back up to all fours. Reset your knees. Take your left leg back with the toes tucked under. Broaden your collarbones, breathe in. And then as you exhale, tone, lift the abdomen, hover the right knee, but keep the top of the foot down. And then inhale, lower. Do that 2 more times. It's a very tiny little lift. Do your best to keep a neutral spine. Good. All right. And then once the knee comes down, now lift the straight leg back and up. Lift more from the inner thigh. Take your right arm straight forward with the thumb facing up. Maybe that's it. Or maybe you reach the arm around and back, holding onto the top of the foot. Yeah. And if you did that, let's undo. Come back to the arm forward, leg back position. Last little piece, if you want to try hovering the right top of the foot. Oh, it's easier for me on this side. Yeah, set the hand down, set the knee down. Let's go to child's pose, this time toes tucked under. Walk your knees back, push the mat forward. And then if you wish, you can come up and sit on your heels. Extra foot squashing. Do you have carpal tunnel?
No, well, I might probably do, but it's
Yeah.
really this, whatever the weird name is for this part of the thumb, though.
Okay, in the thumb pad.
Yeah, it's
Huh,
something thinner thumb, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a weird name.
okay,
It just hurts, I don't know why.
yeah. I mean, okay.
It's, you know, carpal goes all the way up. to
Sure,
this and
yeah,
there.
it doesn't do that, it's just right in that
It's
spot.
literally right in this, I don't get
Yeah. Let's come out, go onto your belly. Stretch your legs back and down. Just rest your forehead on your hands for a sec. And then let's lift both legs off the floor. Keep them straight and press back through the balls of the feet. Now, this movement, if we were to go up and down, typically is done the lift on the inhale. I'm gonna have us do it on the exhale though. So I'll tell you why. Breathe in. On the exhale, find the tone in the abdomen. That's why. And then lift the legs and they maybe won't go up as high. Yeah, and then on the inhale, put them back down. So do that a few more times. Exhale, find the tone in the abdomen and lift the legs. Press back through the balls of your feet. They're like really not far off the floor. And then come down to it one more time. Yeah, stay here, just breathe as you need to. We're gonna roll onto one side. I'm just gonna say side one and side two. So take one arm forward and put the other hand beside you like a cobra position. Keep your legs a little bit off the floor. Press into the floor with the bent elbow hand and roll over onto your side, and then we'll flex the feet and lower your head down on the outstretched arm. Yeah. Now, if you want to test out your balance, you can lift the front arm either straight up to the sky or over your head. Yeah. We're going to stay on this side, lower the legs, lower the front hand. You can stay with the straight arm on this bottom arm, or you could bend the elbow. They both work. Now on this bottom leg, press into the pinky side of the foot, press it toward the floor so the leg is strong. And then lift the top leg, bend your knee. Turn the knee towards the floor and make a circle forward, up, and around. Let's do the same direction a couple times. Big controlled movement here. Yeah. Good. Next time you point the knee up, stay, flex your foot, and then start to bend and straighten this leg. Yeah. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way straight. Okay, keep the knee bent, and now turn the knee towards the floor. Reach the knee towards the bottom foot and then come up and around. So we're going the other direction, the circle. Good. Next time the knee points up, stay. Hold on to either the big toe or the outside of the foot, or you could use a strap here. And then lift the foot, but keep the knee pretty bent at first. And on this lifted leg, externally rotate. Wrap the outer hip down. And keep that rotation as you go any amount straighter without letting go. Even if you don't go all the way straight, it's fine. Stay here, and on your bottom leg, press into the pinky side of the foot. Yeah, great. And then rebend. Let's let go. Put the leg back down on the other leg. Put your hand back on the floor. Undo if you bent the bottom elbow. Stretch out the arm. Lift the head a little, lift the legs a little. And then let's press out through the balls of your feet. Use the front hand to control the transition as you come down to the belly, but don't lower the legs. Yeah. Change arms. And then go to side two. Keep the legs up, flex the feet. And then if you wish here, you could lift the top arm, test out your balance. If that's not going to work, Don't do it. Good. Lower the legs, bend the bottom elbow if you want to, and then take your top hand in front. On this bottom leg, press into the pinky side of the foot, and we want to keep that the whole time. Bend your top knee, point the knee down towards the floor, and let's do this big circle around. Yeah, a couple times more. See if you can minimize the wobble in the rest of the body. Next time your knee points up, stay, flex the foot, and then slowly reach up for a straighter leg and rebend. A couple times more, just like that. It's like triangle pose, but sideways. That's it. All right, next time you bend the knee, point the knee down towards the floor, and then bring it down, and we'll make the circle now going in the other direction. That's it. Next time the knee points up, stay. You can hold either the big toe, the outside of the foot, or your strap. Come up a little bit, still with the knee bend, and wrap the outer hip down. Keep that, and then go any amount straighter in the leg without losing the rotation and without losing the hand hold. This pose is called Anantasana. Great, and then rebend. Release the leg, put it on top of the other leg, take the top hand in front, and then undo your head-hand connection here. Lift the head a little bit. Press out through the balls of your feet with the legs lifted, and then don't let the legs come down yet. We'll come down to the belly, find that little hover position. Yeah, good. And then relax the legs. Let's rest your forehead on your hands. Bend your knees and just swish the legs around here, a couple circles. And then go the other direction. Good. Let's take your time, go in a down dog and take any kind of movement that you want to in the position.
You're ready to shut that door.
Which door?
The front door.
Oh, yeah, go shut the door. Sorry. I was thinking about how I purposely left it open and then I forgot to shut it. Do you know how to do it? It's kind of annoying. Open both doors.
Oh, never mind. Someone shut it.
Someone did close it, okay.
So there is somebody else.
We've got a ghost. A friendly ghost.
You're making up for our shortcomings.
Yeah, it's good, it's good. All right, so once you're settled in down dog, take a wider stance, bend your knees and walk your arms back and just prop up like this for a moment. Dangle your right arm down and then turn your chest to the right. Let's open up the arm to the ceiling. Yeah, and then undo, go the other direction. Open up to the other side. And then come down with the forearms on the thighs. Before you come up, press down through your heels and try to push them apart. Use that to come all the way up here. Lift your arms overhead. Yeah, and then relax your arms. Bring your feet just right underneath you. Take a little hula hoop asana. And other direction. Good. All right, so let's come stay at the back of the mat actually, and find your mountain pose. You can have the feet together or keep a little bit of space. On the inhale, lift your arms up. Keep them there for the exhale and find that hug in through the waist, all sides hugging into the center. Yeah. And then inhale, stand up a little taller. Use the exhale to forward fold and bend your knees if you need to. Let's come up halfway, slide your chest forward as you do. Lower down, walk your hands out until you come into plank pose. And you could absolutely have the knees down if you wish. Then once you're in position, broaden your collarbones and breathe in. Use the exhale to hug the waist in, and you might even find a little lift up. Stay for a couple of breaths. The inhales might be kind of shallow. Bend both knees a tiny bit, both elbows a tiny bit, and turn the elbow tips back towards the back into the mat. Yeah. All right. And then very slowly, let's lower the knees down. Try to draw them forward as you lower. Bend the elbows, come down onto your abdomen. Let's stretch the arms back alongside you, lengthen your legs back. just curl your fingers in, make a loose fist, maybe make little circles with the wrists. Yeah. And now for the next set, I'm going to have us come up on the inhales. So at first, relax your fingers, move the front of the shoulders away from the floor until you feel your upper back working. And then on the inhale, lift the legs, lift the arms, press out through the balls of your feet. On the exhale, either come all the way down or just partial. And do 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen through the front of the body as you come up. And then exhale, lower. Now, 1 more time. And then on the way down, just turn your face to one side. Take a little moment. Yeah. And then just simple quad stretch here. Bend your right knee, hold on to the foot or the ankle. You can put your left arm in front of you, or really anywhere is fine. Stay in the position, stretch back through the right thigh and breathe in. On your exhale, engage the abdomen. Find that tone, that inner corset hugging in on all sides. Yeah, great. And then let that one go. Do the other side, then the left knee. And then once you're here again on the exhales, reach back through the thigh, hug in through the center. All right, and then let that one go. Just wiggle a little bit from side to side and then take your time to head into downward facing dog pose. We're not really gonna stay, so once you're there, either bring the legs forward or the hands back. Bend your knees, press into the heels. Use the inhale to come up, lift your arms. And then exhale, lower. Great. Go get a blanket and we'll roll it up and do a couple calf stretches here. And the first one, just good old fashioned stand on the blanket. I'll mirror you here. Put your right foot up there so that the toes are up and the heel is down. And they'll have the left foot on the side and you can step the left foot forward if possible. Yeah. And then once you have that, start to shift a little bit back and forth. You might notice a pull on the inner calf and the outer calf, and just notice if one feels tighter or more sensitive than the other. Yeah, and then we'll pause here right in the center. Root down through both feet and then rotate your torso towards the left. Yeah. And undo and go again slowly, just start to turn to the left. And then go one more time. Stay on the side and notice where the weight is on your feet and see if you can be a little more level on both feet. Great. Undo. And then go to the second side here. So put your left foot up with the toes and the ball of the foot on the roll, but the heel on the floor behind. Step your right leg forward. Oh, tighter side for sure. And at first, just take a little shift. Good. And then we'll pause here in the center. Stand up tall and rotate towards your right. And undo. And go again to the right. And undo. Once again to the right and stay. And notice where the weight is distributed in your feet. Can you press down the inner foot, the outer foot, and the heel equally? Nice. Okay, release. And step off the roll. And now put your blocks in front of it. And let's start on the highest height and we may or may not move down from there. Yeah. So bring both feet up. Let's come all the way up on the roll so your heels are not on the floor. So the toes are up, the heels are up, and your hands are down on the blocks. And then bend your knees slightly and just take a little rock forward and a little rock back. And the blanket will somewhat massage the soles of your feet. Never a bad thing. And then pause here and just kind of scoot yourself back so now the heels go on the floor. Keep your toes up on the roll and keep your knees a little bit bent. And at first, press down more at the ball of the big toe, and you might feel things kind of fall inward. Keep that on the ball of the big toe, and now also widen at the upper thighs. Firm your quads just above the kneecaps, and very slowly start to go straighter in the legs, and think of lifting the hips. Lift the whole thighs actually away from the floor. Move your chest forward if you can. Yeah. Now, some of you will stay here, some of you may choose to lower. And if you're going all the way down, I'll suggest go gradually, like go step by step. Yeah. Now, I'll just say it again, you don't have to do extra. Keep the ball of the big toe rooted and the upper thighs moving apart. As you maybe go straighter again in the legs, maybe you keep them bent is totally fine. And then options here, you can move the chest forward and that'll, I think, give more pull through the back of the leg. Or you can fold over and that'll still give you a pull in the back of the leg, it just changes the spot. You can also alternate, you can go back and forth if you can't decide. Yeah. All right. And then if you did come down, let's come back up to the high block position. Slide your feet down off the roll. Bend your knees a little bit. Take your hands to your hips and just hinge your way up from there. Just all the way up to stand. Yeah. All right, stay here and take a little hula hoop for a second. And then go the other direction. Great. So let's set up the blanket at the back. This time we'll do warrior one with a little extra stretch for the front, the back leg, the front of the back leg. So put your right heel up there so that it's elevated. Turn your right leg out somewhat, just a little bit, and then step your left leg forward. And let's start the process with both legs straight and press down and back through your right heel. And also try to roll the inner thigh back a little bit. Then with your hands on the pelvis, push down, lift your rib cage away from the pelvis. Bend your front knee, but just like halfway. And then take your hands a little higher and lift the ribs with your hands and turn the right ribs forward, the left ribs back. From here, keep the ribs lifted and then bend the front knee a little more and settle the pelvis downward. And if you need to adjust your stance in any way you can. Then let's take your arms forward and up and use this lifting of the arms again to help lift the ribs away from the pelvis. As you do that though, relax through the neck and the inner part of your shoulders. Yeah. Let's continue to work this back leg, press down and back through the heel. And then to get out, hinge forward, stretch the arms back, lift the back heel, step forward. And then we'll go back again for the second side. So put your left heel up, turn the leg out a little, step your right leg forward. You can take a couple times to get there. And then stretch both legs straight on your back leg, press down and back. Yeah. Put your hands to the pelvis, push down as you lift up. Bend the front knee, but just about halfway. And then take your hands to the ribs, lift the ribs up with your hands, steer left forward and the right one back, and then sit a little deeper in the front leg. Yeah. Move the pelvis and rib cage away from each other. Keep pressing into the back leg heel. Let's let go. Take your arms forward and up. And as you do so, use the lift of the arms to continue to lift the ribs, but at the same time, relax the inner shoulders and the sides of your neck. Good. All right. And then to get out, hinge forward, reach the arms back, lift your back heel, step to the front of the mat, and just up to stand. Good. All right. Let's move the roll out of the way. And then you may or may want your blocks for the next piece. So just have them there. And then we'll inhale, lift your arms, be at the front of the mat. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, slide your chest forward. And then on the exhale, let's step your right leg back. Bring the knee down, and if you need a blanket for that, you can. Let's put the left leg wide and the arms to the inside of the leg. And then take a couple times back and forth here with this wide stance. Let's pause with the front knee bent. Lift the back knee and thigh, and then turn the back heel down and walk your arms forward and to the right. You'll probably come off the mat with or without blocks. Yeah. Now, stay in the position and lift the left heel just a little bit. And then as you sit a little deeper into the left leg, can you find external rotation? Wrap the outer hip down and then put the heel down. Yeah, move your chest and your pelvis away from each other. Good. And then from here, let's come back in with the arms. Lift your back heel. Lower the back knee down again and turn your left leg out slightly. Put your left hand on the top of the thigh with your fingers facing in. Lift the abdomen, push down through the left hand and start to turn. Yeah. And then back off, we'll go one more time. Push down through the hand, lift the abdomen, turn. You can do that again, or when you back off, shift forward a little, lift the back foot and hold on with your left hand, and then back the pelvis up a little, lift your abdomen and turn. All right, whatever happened, it's over. Let's undo. Lower the foot, lower the arms, walk your left foot in, and then let's lift the back knee and thigh. Go to downward facing dog pose, and then decide you could stay there, or you could go back and forth dog, plank dog, or if you wanted to do a full vinyasa, that's an option. Good. All right, everybody. Let's come to the front of the mat. Bring your legs forward, but don't come up. Take just a half lift here, slide your chest forward. And then on the way down, bring your left leg back, start in the lunge pose. Lower the knee, walk your right foot wide and bring the arm inside the leg. And take a couple times here just to go back and forth. Yeah, all right. And then pause in the forward position. Lift the back knee and thigh. Turn the back heel down like a warrior two, and then walk your hands forward and towards the left with or without your blocks. Yeah. Pause here for a second. Then lift the right heel a little bit. Sit a bit deeper into the front leg, and as you're doing that, wrap the outer right hip down, and then bring the heel down. Yeah. Stay here, move your pelvis and the rib cage away from each other. Good. Slide the arms a little further out. Maybe you have room as well. Awesome. All right, let's come back to center with your arms. Lift the back heel, lower the back knee once again. And this time turn your front leg out slightly. Put your right hand on top of the thigh with your fingers facing in. Push down as you lift up through the abdomen and use that to turn. Good. And then back off. Go again, push down, lift the abdomen, turn. Back it off, and on the last one, if you want to, reach back and hold on with the left foot, you could. Great. Okay, and then put the leg down, put the arm down, walk your right leg in. Lift the back knee and thigh. And then let's again go to down dog, and again, take your choice of movement or stillness. If you want more of a rest, you could just put the knees down. Okay, and then let's meet in a forward fold. Any transition is fine. Bend your knees, press into your heels. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower. Great. All right, let's take a little, just a little hula hoop for a second. And then go the other direction. So this was a while ago, but we were laying on our side and I said something about pressing the pinky side of the foot down into the floor to engage the side of the leg. So we're gonna do a version of that on the wall in a second. Before we do though, just stand where you are, stand on your left leg, flex the right foot and take the leg out to the side. And I'm hoping you feel a little work right here. You do that again. You can put your hand there to feel. Yeah. So in a second, we'll have the foot next to the wall and we won't be able to press the leg outward. Well, we'll press it into the wall and the same muscles ideally will fire there. Let's do the other side. So stand on your right leg, flex the left foot and take the leg out. Yeah. You want to hold on, you can. Great. Okay, so let's go to a wall and just whatever side you're on is fine. Take whatever hand is closest to the wall, take that up. And then stand next to the wall so that the foot next to the wall, you'll lift it about an inch, yeah? And then from here, press that foot into the wall and see if you feel on the opposite leg that outer hip turn on. That's what we're going for. Did you get it? Is it working? Okay, and then back off. And do that a couple of times. So press the lifted foot into the wall. And hopefully by default, the standing foot leg will turn on. Back off. Do it again. Yeah. Okay, and then back off, turn around and do the other side. One side's usually stronger than the other. So pick up the new foot, a little bit off the floor, press it into the wall and see if on the other side you can get that tone. And then back off and do it a couple of times. Slow push. You can do it on the exhale and add in the abdominal tone. I should have said that on the first side. Yeah. So that effort on this standing leg, you can let go. Or that's what we're looking for in a tree pose in the base leg. So if you need to be close to the wall, stay there. If you want to get away from the wall, come away. And then let's come into your tree pose with the right leg up. You can be above or below the knee or even toes on the floor. Press into the foot on the base leg and see if you can hug the outer hip in like you just did. Yeah, good. And then if balance is feeling pretty good here, lift the arms. You can do that on the inhale. Stay, and then on the exhale, find that tone in the abdomen. Yeah, let's stay for a couple of breaths. The inhales might be a little shallow if you're keeping the tone, and that's fine. Great. All right, release. Come out. Stand. Let's take a little circle for a second. Great. Yeah, and I know you guys have pretty good balance anyway, but I find that thing pretty helpful. Let's do the other side. So stand on your right leg, turn the left leg out and come into your tree. Then once you have that mostly established, press into the base leg and hug the outer right hip in towards the center. Keep that. If you're able to lift the arms, do. Inhale at the top and then exhale, hug in through all sides. Yeah. Stay for a couple more breaths and it's okay if the inhales are a little shallow. Great. All right, and then let that one go. I'm gonna go one more time, this time with a little bit of a different focus. So you might remember too, when we were laying on the side, we did those leg circles. We'll do a standing version of that and then see if we can go into tree pose with no hands. We'll try it. So stand on your left, pick up the right leg, keep your torso still, take the leg out to the side, and then bring the foot back. That's internal rotation. And then bring the legs back together. Go the same direction again, forward, out to the side, internal rotation, back to center. Now this time as you go around, lift the knee as high as you can, and then see if you can come into your tree pose without your hands. And if you do end up right on the side of the knee, just slide the foot down a little bit. Then find the same thing here, press down into your base foot and hug the outer left hip in. Let's take the hands just to prayer for this version. Okay, and then done. Let's do the last side here. Press into the right leg, pick up the left, take it out to the side, keep everything else stable, and then bring the foot back, that's internal rotation, and then the thighs together again. Same direction, a few more. Now in this last one, if you can, lift the knee a little higher, and then see if you can land the foot, and if you need to slide it down, that's fine. Press down into the base, hug the outer right hip in, and press the hands to prayer. Good. Okay, and then that's that. Let it go. Just stand. Tadasana. All right, you guys, good work. Let's come back to your mat if you went somewhere. Do a little sequence again to get down onto the floor. So I'll suggest feet a little bit apart. Bend your knees, sit the hips back, Utkatasana. And like we did in some of the other poses, press down into the ball of the big toe. Keep that wide in the upper thighs. Keep that, sit any amount further back, a little lower, stretch your arms back, broaden your collarbones. Then on the inhale, keep everything the same except the arms, sweep the arms forward and up. Maybe you're able to sit a little lower. Take one more breath in. On the exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, slide your chest forward. Exhale, lower down. Let's go downward dog. And then from down dog to plank, this will be our last plank. Broaden your collarbones, inhale. On the exhale, tone your abdomen, kind of a little lift. Keep that, breathe when you need to. Bend the knees a little, bend the elbows a little, turn the elbows back towards the knees, and enjoy the tremble. In super slow motion, you'll lower the knees down, but try to bring them forward as you do. Once they touch, shift back to child's pose, and let's rest your forehead either on the mat or on your stacked arms, or grab a block, and then just gently roll your head from side to side. Great. All right, and then let's come back up to sit. You can swing your legs around forward. And we'll just do a little bit of foot movement here. Yeah, you can elevate your pelvis if necessary. Or just circle out your ankles a couple times. And the other way. And then from here, pause. Let's flex the feet, reach out through your heels, spread out the toes, root down through your fingertips, and they can be on the floor, or if you're on a blanket, on the blanket. Press down to lift up. Broaden your collarbones, tone your abdomen. And then if you let go of the floor and you collapse, keep your hands down for the support. But if you can let go of the floor and lift your arms up without the collapse, do. And like we did in Warrior One, use this lift of the arms to help move the rib cage away from the pelvis, creating a little space there. And then don't round your back, but hinge back like an inch. Good. And now take your arms forward, do round the back, go back maybe about halfway down towards the floor, drawing your navel in and up. And we'll go again, come forward, up. You could have the hands on the floor the whole time, and then hinge back an inch. Stay long and lifted. This one's harder than it looks, isn't it? And then once again, come forward. Do round the back, go about halfway down. Then a little add-on here, lift the right leg and twist a bit to the right. Undo. The leg down, lift the left leg, twist to the left. Back to center, back to sit, all the way up. Hinge back an inch. And then one more time, take the arms forward, roll back about halfway down to the floor. Same as before, lift the right leg, twist to the right. Back to center, lift the left leg, twist to the left. Back to center, and then just come up, and that's enough. Let's come down onto your back here. You can just get down any way you do. And then once you're down there, take your feet a little bit wider with your knees bent. Just have your arms out of the way of your legs. And take a lazy little windshield wiper swish, one side, other side. Extra bonus butt massage maybe. And then next time you're over there on the right, stay. Reach the left thigh away from you. And if your arms are overhead, you can reach the arms back. And do the other side, come up and over. Reach the right thigh away from you, the arms back. And then come back to center. And bring your feet in a little bit. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And then pick up the left leg. You can do this either holding onto the left leg, or you could do no hands. Keep a little bit of pressure though between the right ankle and the left thigh, and that'll keep the muscles toned as they stretch. If it would feel good to add in a little rock, you can move from side to side. And then we'll back off and change legs. Cross the left one over. You decide hands or no hands. But let's keep a little press of the ankle into the thigh into the ankle. Maybe add in from side to side here. And then let's unhook your legs. Put your feet on the floor and press your hands straight into the legs. And then back off of that, put your elbows on the floor, press into the floor, and then scoot your ribs back slightly away from the pelvis, just to make that room again. And then slide your right foot in between your left foot and the left buttock, and lower your thigh towards the floor or put a block under it. You could pick up your left leg and bring it in. You might remember throughout the class, we did those exhales, hugging the waist in. Let's do a very, very tiny version of that. So on the next exhale, draw all sides of the waist in, but just a little bit, just to create support. And then we'll undo. Let's take one more thigh press in between sides. And then slip the left foot in between the right foot and the right buttock and draw your right leg in. And here too, once you're settled, just on a very tiny scale on the exhales, hug all sides of the waist in the center. And then we'll undo. 2 feet on the floor. One more time, find the thigh press here. Yeah. And then as you let that go, our next official pose will be Shavasana. But if there's anything you need before that, you can take it. I'm gonna do Shavasana myself with you guys. Me too, I'm doing the same little homemade bolster. Take a deeper, fuller breath. And start to bring any kind of movement back into your body. And when you're ready, you can bend your knees and roll to one side. And from there, take any time to come up to sit. Let's just pause. the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you.